Hey guys, I'm S. Dan Wolf and welcome back to the channel, and what an exciting Wednesday. Can you remember the last time you were this hyped on a Wednesday? I've had to leave my phone on the charger all day because I've been getting so many messages from you guys asking me if I've seen the trailer, if what my thoughts are on it. Just all of that. And I can say, this came out of nowhere. When I got up this morning at about 7-ish, all of a sudden I saw Jonty's video pop up. Then, I saw a bunch of tweets start coming through, and I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. I was about, I can't even tell you how close I was to being fake sick this morning and just not going into the office, because I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be incredible. I watched the trailer a few times. There is so much charm to the trailer, and definitely had those original Planet Coaster trailer. Those original feels definitely came along with this Planet Zoo announcement, and so we've got a lot to talk about, a lot to go over. So let's go ahead and we'll just jump into it, and we'll just like I said, as more info comes out, I'll try to get it out to you guys. And so as soon as I know something, you'll know something. We do know I've got a ton of information. Emma Kent from Eurogamer did an incredible article earlier today about all of the features and just all of the little ins and outs and odds and ends of Planet Zoo and what she actually got to go see. I believe some of these magazines have actually, they got to go to Frontier, and they got to actually be in the development studio, and I think they've seen some really pre-alpha gameplay, and hopefully I can get my hands on that soon too. I've heard from Bo and Shantae and a couple of them today, but I don't know any more. Did they say hey, S. Dan Wolf, do you want to play the game? It's nothing like that. They just said, we know you guys are anxious to get your hands on it. We'll have more information soon. Emma confirms that Frontier will be at E3, and they're going to be showing off more of the campaign, more of animals, all of that at E3. So really exciting stuff. But one thing we can jump into is we definitely know at launch there will be over 50 animals. So a lot of interesting stuff going on. And one of the things that was pretty cool too is talking about not just the big animals that we all expect, lions, elephants, zebras. They even mention spiders. So I definitely see insect houses in our future. I'm certain we're going to have snakes then. They wouldn't have spiders and insects if they wouldn't have reptiles or reptile houses and all of that. So really interesting stuff. One of the first things too, just talking about the different types of animals and the terrains and the biomes. A neat little detail that Emma pointed out as far as some of the screenshots we've seen. Remember the wolf essentially being in the snow, the bears being in the, actually getting rained on from that screenshot. But listen to this. She said during a gameplay demo, we were shown just a glimpse of how deep these systems will go. Emma said Planet Zoo has its own weather system with the ability for snow and rain to be partially or completely occluded under structures such as trees and caves. She said during the demo that she saw, in the midst of a snowstorm, the outdoor areas actually became colder and the cave remained warm. So it essentially prompted the animals to move inside to the cave to seek out that warmer weather. That is essentially one part of fulfilling their needs. If there's a big snowstorm coming, they don't want to be outside. So you essentially have to take into account that type of need. So the animals actually moved from the snowstorm. She saw them move into the cave. So managing the temperature requirements, that is going to be a part of this. That is going to be, I think, a challenging part of this. And she even mentions that too, like say your zoo is based in the Arctic, like how are we going to, how are you going to get around that as far as like making sure you keep the animals warm, just really, really interesting stuff. They also go into talk about as far as some of the finer management. They're even talking about like inbreeding and having to really be careful on how you manage your breeding program and, how you can't leave family units together too long because they do essentially inbreed. And that creates a whole nother host of problems in your park. So this is going to get down to, to pretty interesting stuff. Genomes determine the animal's appearance, such as like their stripe patterns and zebras. But Emma said it also, what she understands, it affects their longevity, their size, their immunity, fertility. All of this has a big part that it plays together. And so, like I said, guys, this is going to be like, I know you guys know that I'm in it more for like the sandbox and the design and see what kind of building and, what kind of, awesome looking zoo I can design. But I think for you meat and bone management type of people, I think this is gonna intriguingly surprise you. And like I said, just things as far as like, being careful with your breeding and like, trying to, play with the consequences of that. And, it's really, really interesting stuff. They also even talked about some of the programs are meant to actually get to a point where you can release the animals back into the wild. So all of this plays a part in your breeding program and like this whole system, that they think will keep it from becoming like a grind and from, like it becoming such like a really staticky type deal. If you like, I think if I had to explain this in any way, this is Planet Coaster and Jurassic World Evolution. Like they essentially breeded and, that they bred and had Planet Zoo. So that is what I think, that is the way that they're kind of leaning for this. They're taking the best of both of our worlds. Now, do I think we're going to have rides and coasters and stuff like that in Planet Zoo? Not necessarily. One of the screenshots I think Jonty was mentioning, though, that's really, really interesting is we know that we will at least have a train. There's going to be some kind of train system, some kind of safari system that you can see in one of the screenshots. So there's that to look forward to. A lot of people have been asking me about rides today and what I think about that whole aspect of it. Like I told them, I'll tell you guys, I think maybe there's a good chance for like maybe safari jeeps, backstage type rides. Like a couple of people were saying, maybe there's an avenue for transport rides, monorails, gondolas, maybe chairlifts. We know we're getting the train. Another thing a lot of people have been hinting on is the terrain tools seem really, really interesting. As far as the way the paths interact with them, that's a big part on people's list. Just wondering how the path tool is going to be implemented into this system. One of the things that Emma actually also mentioned too, and a lot of us have been wondering as far as the trailer goes, when you see the bear actually make his way, like he jumps into his little pond and starts swimming. Emma mentions that in her article, like she, she's talking about something to the effect of watching the bear swim around in this little, in this little pond that it has. And she was talking about like when it was stretching, it's like, its pads of its feet and its claws kind of protrude. So, you've got that whole deal too, that I don't think the trailer necessarily was going to be that far off from some of the stuff we actually end up getting. We know there's going to be a campaign. We know there's going to be Steam support. We think, like I'm kind of with Jonty on this, the fencing of the game does not seem like it's piece by piece necessarily. It looks like it's going to be more like Jurassic World Evolution, where we're probably going to finally get that drag and drop, that that like spline system fencing tool. So really interesting stuff on that. She talks about personalization and decoration. All of that stuff's going to be in there. Two of the themes that we see, that the only two themes that have been confirmed so far, is a British-inspired classic theme as well as an African theme. So you think those two, yes, they will definitely be in it. And another thing too that they said was pretty interesting, that also lets us know that we can. Like as far as our smaller animals go, Jackson, the one of the developers that was talking to Emma, said one thing they want to implement in this is, they said, expect to see FlexiColor items and the ability to add custom 2D and 3D backgrounds to the glass exhibits for small critters. So it said, and she said, sounds like the community will be able to fully unleash its creativity with this title. So if we're building like those reptile houses and stuff in those smaller enclosures, we're going to be able to bring in our own little backgrounds and stuff, kind of like as like little JPEGs, kind of like we can with the billboards and stuff in Planet Coaster. So yeah, we got that too. So this is shaping up to be a very interesting title. Somebody on Instagram was telling me today that he said the only bad thing about this is, he said, I wish I was 8 again instead of 28, so I could just play this game, no interference, no work, no jobs, none of the obligations that a lot of us, 25 to 30-year-olds have to, kind of like what we're involved with nowadays. So we're kind of like, balancing work and Planet Coaster, Planet Zoo, gaming, life in general. So that is an interesting point, but I still think come fall we're gonna have a lot of fun with this. And thinking back, like I'm kind of looking through my notes right now, the one thing that Emma said, as far as what I was telling you about the bear, she said there are plenty of tiny details here. At one point, I even noticed a bear's claws retracting as it swam around. So she said, according to the devs, the custom terrain created a technical challenge when it came to programming animal movement. Nobody wants floating feet or animals clipping into slopes, but the team has managed to create animations that adapt to real-time editing. So yes, we think that they will actually be able to, if you build a pond in their exhibit, they know that they have to swim in that pond. They're not going to be clipping and like just walking across your rivers and stuff and your streams or ponds, whatever. These animals are going to real time react to your editing. So anyways, guys, yeah, I just wanted to kind of jump in and give you, like, I know I'm still kind of excited right now and I might have rambled through this a little too much, but I definitely wanted to jump in and give you my thoughts on this first day and this awesome franchise I think we have to look forward to. And yeah, like I said, as more info comes out, don't forget to subscribe for more Planet Zoo content, and I will jump in and let you guys know kind of what's going on or what I've noticed in any of these articles. At least we have something to go by now. Like for months, I have been Googling, Frontier 4th franchise, and just like looking through news articles, stock tips from Bloomberg and all of this stuff. So now we actually have some stuff to go by. So if Frontier sneaks some of these, these magazine companies and stuff in, like Eurogamer, PC Gamer, and they do these articles, hopefully, I've already got my alerts set up in Google. So if something pops up, I will see it and I will try to get it out to you guys. And if they give me any type of access to this, sometimes they have you sign NDAs on stuff like this. Sometimes they don't. So if I'm able to get a part of any kind of alpha action or pre-rendered, any kind of footage like that, and I'm allowed to give it out, I will definitely get it here on the channel. So, yeah, guys, anyways, thank you for stopping by and hanging out with me. I'm S. Stan Wolf. Smash that like button if you end up enjoying this video. And as always, let me know your thoughts down below on Frontier's 4th franchise, Planet Zoo. And, yeah, guys, I will catch you in the next video. Thank you. See you guys.